Hello guys, what is going on? My name is Crypack and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today is a little bit of a different video. I will be doing a showcase of the Ice and Fire mod, which we have been playing through for about 8 episodes so far. I've been really enjoying this mod and it is a really wonderful mod to have if you haven't played it before. And I will be going over what's expected in the mod and what you can find in the mod and etc. I'll try to go through everything, but I can't promise I'll actually get through everything because there's a good amount of stuff to get through in this mod. So I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Helps them get noticed in the algorithm and helps YouTube think that my videos are actually good and stuff. And also be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Let's get started. Alright guys, so I will be showcasing the mobs in the order of passive and then being aggressive and stuff like that. So to start off with, we have a pixie. As you guys can see, the pixie is just flying. So if I spawn a couple of these in, as you guys can hear, oh, I hit the pixie by accident, but they basically spawn in different colors. They can spawn in 5 different colors. It can be either pink, purple, blue, green, or yellow. Also, they can be found near tiny woodland villages, and they spawn near these things called pixie villages, which are tiny mushroom log hovels that can be found in dark forest biomes. Now, pixies are peaceful mobs, as I have mentioned before, and they are actually possible to tame. Now, the different colors actually have a use on the pixies. So different colors, when befriended with the pixies, as I will show you guys in a few seconds, they can actually give you different stats and effects. So basically, the pink one gives you strength, the purple one gives you jump boost, blue gives you speed, green gives you luck, and yellow gives you haste. So as you can tell, these guys are really useful. As well as, guys, if you guys want to capture a pixie, you can actually get something called a jar, and you can basically capture one of these, as I can show right here. And yeah, I just captured a blue pixie in the jar, and you can just put them as little decorations as well, but if you break it, they can actually break free. Now, if you guys have a cake, the way to tame pixies is, let me just spawn one in. If you actually drop a cake, yeah, so as you guys seen, I just spawned the pixie right in front of me. It did eat the cake. It's a little bit difficult to get them to eat the cake when they're all flying around and stuff, but if you can get them secluded into a certain spot, you can actually get them. And as you guys can see, I have basically an infinite enchant of luck. Now, just to summarize real quickly with the pixies, they can drop 0 to 2 pixie dust upon death, and 1 pixie dust while bottled. The pixie will continue to generate pixie dust over time, and there is a 2.5% chance of them to drop a pixie wing upon death. Alright guys, next up we have the Hippocampi. Hippocampi is actually the plural. It is a hippocampus, actually. Sorry for my pronunciation. Hippocampi are majestic aquatic beasts that can be tamed and ridden. Now, you guys can find these usually in the ocean and stuff like that. They come in 6 different colors as well. The blues have scales and green fins. Orange has orange scales and blue fins. As you can see, turquoise has turquoise scales and yellow fins. Green has green scales and orange fins. And then red has red scales and pink fins. So if I just spawn a few more of these, you should be able to see the different colors. And yeah, these things are passive mobs as well. They can usually be found swimming around in the ocean and deep ocean biomes. Upon death, these guys drop 1 to 4 shiny scales and 1 hippocampus fin, which is a 2.5% chance. And in order to tame these guys, you can actually get kelp or sponge. Either works, and I'm pretty sure you just right click onto them and you can have best friends forever. And of course, in order to, ride these guys, you need a saddle. So if I just get a saddle. So in order to access these guys' inventory, once you tame them, you need to shift and go right click onto them. You can actually equip them with a saddle, a chest, and armor as well. So once they have a saddle, you can actually go onto these guys. And these guys are freaking quick in the water, as you guys can see. Yeah, these guys are super quick in the water. So in order to replace boats, you guys should definitely get these guys into the water. because these guys are crazy. By the way, guys, if you guys want to cause the hippocampus to sink in the water, you just need to press X. But sadly, I cannot do that because this is a flat surface. Alright, guys, so next off, we have the sea serpents, one of the vicious mobs of the ocean. They can appear in 6 different colors as well. They can be found in the oceans. Upon death, these guys drop 1 to 20 sea serpent scales, and they drop 1 to 3 sea serpents fangs, and these drops vary depending on their size. So there's different sizes these guys can come in, and one of them can drop also a sea serpent skull, which is a 2.5% chance. Now they will attack anything that comes nearby. Basically how they work is they either take a bite out of you if they're really close, but if they are not close, they will fire a jet of boiling waters from their maws and rapidly damaging the target over time. Now, if you guys are riding a boat, swimming near the surface or standing near the shore, they will let out a loud booming roar before leaping out of the water. The impact that they make upon landing deals a large amount of damage, and it tosses you back a considerable distance. Now, how powerful this attack is corresponds with their size, and basically the larger sea serpents are known as ancient sea serpents, rival a stage 5 dragon in size. They can withstand many attacks for the player before dying as well, so that's crazy. Now guys, the next mob is the siren. Now as you guys can see, the siren looks very friendly. Looks like indeed a passive mob, but basically the sirens are deceitful. They actually change to nagas once they drag you in with their beauty. Now they can be located on top of Siren Islands, which are small rocky islands which spawn randomly in ocean biomes. I sadly couldn't find one, so I just decided to spawn one in. Upon death, these guys drop 1 to 5 shiny scales. They drop 0 to 3 prismarine shards, 1 to 5 prismarine crystals, and 1 siren tear, which is a 2.5% chance. Now basically what they do is they will sing towards you. And basically what happens is when you hear the sound of their calming songs, you will get hallucinations of mermaids and hearts, and they will start uncontrollably gravitating towards the siren. Upon successfully luring you into 3 blocks away from it, a siren will enter its naga form, and its charming songs will be replaced by eerie shrieks and hisses. It will then proceed to jump off its rocky island and start swimming after you. Now they deal 3 hearts, 6 HP of damage with the bites. They can also knock back you basically. Now the thing is, I can't get these guys to turn into their naga form unless I go into survival, so let me just do that real quick and show you guys how this looks. Alright, I just got myself some netherite armor, so what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna go into survival, and basically what will happen is this thing turns into a naga, and as you can hear, it has lots of hissing noises and stuff like that. Now they do deal a lot of damage, and we actually got killed by the sea serpent. But yeah, so the way you can prevent the siren songs is actually crafting a pair of earplugs, which can be crafted using 2 buttons right beside each other, and you can place them on your head. Basically what this does is they won't attract you with the songs, and it will allow you to pass by them without having to attack them, which is very useful. Alright guys, so the next mob is the Deathworm. As you guys saw, it just went through the sand. Now these things are yeah, they're pretty ugly, as you guys could have seen right there. It's probably hiding somewhere under the sand right now. What was I going to say? So they're basically desert dwelling worms that burrow through the sands and eat anything they come across. They appear giant. They are like segmented worms. So if I just spawn one in right now, there's a lot of stuff you can have with these guys. But basically, let me just spawn one in real quick. Yeah, as you guys can hear, they can spawn in different sizes, as you guys can see. they can be found burrowing through desert biomes. This is the only place they can be found in as well. They drop 0 to 2 pieces of Deathworm chitin, which corresponds to the worm's colors and varies with sizes. They can also drop 0 to 2 pieces of rotten flesh, which varies with size, and 0 to 1 Deathworm egg is a guaranteed drop. And they can drop a Deathworm tongue, which is a 2.5% chance. So as you guys notice, there is a familiar pattern with specific mobs dropping a very rare item. Now these guys are hostile, as I've already mentioned. They lunge out of the sand and they extend their beak tongue to snap at the prey, as you can see. And they deal a considerable amount of damage. Larger worms are known to occasionally lunge out of the sand in a manner so powerful that they launch over a wide area. How powerful this attack is correlates with the worm's size. The largest deathworms are colloquially known as giant deathworms. They can withstand many attacks from us before dying. Now, there is a way to tame these guys as well. A wild deathworm actually cannot be tamed, but what you can do is you can try and spawn one through throwing an egg. Now, the deathworm will start out at a tiny size and it will patrol an area within 50 block radius. It cannot be told to sit or follow the owner as well, which is kind of tough, but it will defend you when you're being attacked. Now, it is possible to ride these guys as well using a fishing rod, but apparently it is not recommended, as these guys can cause your world to glitch out. And as you guys can see, the way it just attacked, its tongue came out. Now, next up, we have the Cockatrice. These guys can be found in savanna biomes. Now, they appear like with the body of a chicken, but the teeth and tails of a lizard. They basically can be found. They can be hatched by throwing a rotten egg as well. Now, basically, these guys have a chance to drop 0 to 3 feathers, 1 to 3 pieces of raw chicken, wither bones, and a 2.5% chance for both Cockatrice eye and the Cockatrice skull. And they are naturally hostile to the player, which is kind of sad, and they can inflict many effects on you. But the only way to kind of get rid of having the blindness effect is by crafting a blindfold. You will be immune to the Cockatrice's stare, but then it will begin directly attacking the player. Unlike any other mob, you can actually tame a Cockatrice. But it is really difficult. In order to tame one, you must survive looking it in the eyes for long enough before it breaks. So it's basically like an eye staring contest between you and the Cockatrice. But once the Cockatrice is tamed, it can be ordered to either follow you or patrol an area within a 50 block radius and freely wander about. Also, feeding a tame Cockatrice seeds will heal it, as can dropping rotten flesh onto the ground. Also, note that you can't breed Cockatrices as they are sterile. Alright guys, so next we have the Stipulation Bird. They are bloodthirsty carnivores, and they fly above swampy environments and fire metallic feathers out at their prey. Now, they have a general appearance of a bird, as you guys can see. They usually spawn in groups between 3 and 20. Now, the drops they can drop is Stipulation Bird feathers, iron ingots, iron nuggets, and a 2.5% for a Stipulation Bird skull. Now, when they attack you, they will basically fly down towards you before they fire metallic feathers at you. Now, if you manage to dodge their metallic feathers, they will also come down to the ground and try to bite you. It is suggested to wear troll leather armor against these guys, as it gives you projectile protection. Alright guys, next up we have the troll. Now, as you guys can see, this guy turned into stone. That's because he is outside. If I spawn this guy into a cave, he will actually be able to live. As you guys can see, he looks like a fierce creature. Now, basically, they are large humanoid monsters with a face with prominent prognathism. As you guys can see, these guys like to lurk in caves. Now, there's different types of trolls. There's actually 3 different types, respective to their biomes. There's a forest troll, a mountain troll, and a frost troll. Now, they will spawn deep underground in forest mountains and snowy tundra biomes, with each variant spawning in their respective biomes. They often spawn in caves, but have also been known to spawn in underground dragon caves as well. Now, loot from the troll depends on what kind of troll it is and what kind of weapon they're holding. So if I spawn in another one, as you guys can see, this guy is holding a different weapon. So basically, they can drop a axe, they can drop a hammer, they can drop a tree trunk, they can drop a stone column, mossy column, frosted tree trunk, and a frosted column. Now, we can see them a little bit better. They're very cute. And they're naturally hostile to the player, of course. Once it sees you, it will get out a loud, guttural roar. It will let out a loud guttural roar and come rushing at you. When attacking, it will strike downwards with their club or with whatever weapon they have. Now, if they are exposed to direct sunlight, as we have seen, they do turn into stone. If we just go over here, they turn into stone and they're immobilized. So probably the best way is actually to lure them out of a cave and sprint away from its club strike, and then try turn them into stone. But as you guys can see, these guys are very fierce creatures. Now guys, next up we have the Mermax. Now these guys actually come from Mermax hives. Now there is different types of Mermax. These guys basically kind of work like bees. So there's workers, there's soldiers, there's sentinels, royals, and the queen. The queen is the largest one, of course, and she is very hard to beat. They come in two different colors depending on their size, and as you can see, there is a hive and the queen is resting inside of the hive. Now, Mermax larvae are white in color and pack limbs and mandibles, making them resemble small worms. Now, I won't be mentioning everything about these guys, as there is so much to mention that it is almost impossible to kind of talk about all of it on the video. But basically, these guys drop resin chunks and stingers, and some, well, no. These guys drop chitin, resin chunks, and stingers. Their behavior is very hostile and they will come after your ass. These guys actually have a reputation system. If you throw resin chunks near a worker, if the worker does not already have an item in its mandibles, they will collect the resin and bring it back to the hive, and it will raise your reputation. Now, basically what this does is if you reach reputation level 25, they will become neutral with the player, so they won't actually attack you, and then you can actually trade with these guys. These guys have actual trades, so yeah, these mobs are pretty damn cool. Next up, guys, we have one of the dragons. This is a fire dragon. These guys spawn in 4 different colors: fury red, emerald green, gold yellow, and smoky black. As you can see, we just spawned in a stage 5 dragon, and these guys are absolutely detrimenting the place. Now, these guys are actually from caves as well. Now, they will drop a lot of stuff like dragon scales, a dragon heart, or dragon flesh. With a glass bottle, you can get dragon blood. A dragon skull and dragon bones are always dropped from these guys. Now, the most important loot a dragon can drop is a dragon egg, which can only drop from a female stage 4 to 5 dragon. Stage 5 female dragons occasionally drop 2 or even 3 eggs. Now, these guys don't evaporate like normal mobs in Minecraft. When they die, they actually have their corpse fall into the ground, and you can obtain stuff like dragon blood and other things from the dragon. Now, fully grown dragons will drop about 46 bones and either 12 vials of blood or 58 scales. Also note that these guys are very hostile and they have a lot of abilities to combat you. Now, you can also hatch dragons, you can tame dragons, you can ride dragons. This is what this mod is mainly about. That's why it is called Ice and Fire. Now, if I go and grab, as you guys can hear, these guys are very loud. If I grab one of these eggs, we have ice dragons as well. So these guys, I believe, are friendly towards each other. Now, these guys, as you guys can tell, they are found in different biomes. You can also find lightning dragons, which can spawn in different colors. These are personally my favorites, but basically how you can tame dragons, or how you can get dragon eggs, is basically killing a stage 5 female. They will drop a dragon egg for you, and you should be able to do this. Now, the thing is, right, with this mod and these dragons, as you guys can see, they're going kind of ham at each other. These guys don't really like it themselves. But as you guys can see, this guy absolutely disintegrated the lightning dragon. These guys can obviously craft you very godly armor. If I go into the dragon stuff, like, there's so many different things to go over. Now, if you guys... Wait, let me get away from these guys before I absolutely cannot speak. If you guys want a part 2 of the showcase where I showcase like different armors and how you can get them, different tools and stuff, be sure to leave a comment down below in the video and I will do that, because in this showcase today I will only be going over the mobs. Now, you can also find gorgons in gorgon temples. These are found very near ocean shores. The only way to counter a gorgon is by implementing or crafting a blindfold. As you can see, it has many little snakes on its head, as any gorgon would have. They also drop one gorgon head upon death, and these temples contain very good loot. Now, the next boss you can find in this mod is a Cyclops. Now, the Cyclops looks like a literal freaking unicorn. This guy is probably the ugliest thing I have seen in Minecraft. Basically, these guys are found inside of stony coves, and they have a large flock of sheeps inside, which is kind of funny. Now, as you can guys see, this guy is very hostile. He's very big as well, very intimidating. So these guys can drop raw mutton, leather, blocks of wool. They have a 50% chance to drop a Eye of Cyclops and a 2.5% chance to drop Cyclops skulls. Now, you can actually avoid these guys by having a full set of sheep disguise armor and sneaking. They will, however, hit any sheeps near the Cyclops will result in him finding you. Now, next up, and nearly finally we're done, we have the ghosts. Now, these guys spawn in graveyard biomes. These graveyard biomes can be literally found in any single biome, and these guys only spawn during the night unless you open the cursed chest, which will have them spawn in. Now, a fun fact, in multiplayer, these guys can actually spawn in when another player kills another player in multiplayer. Now, the way these things are is you have a graveyard biome. If you go inside, you can actually... The only way to open this chest is by destroying it. If you open it, it will spawn a ghost that will attack you. So just be very aware of that. Now, last but not least, guys, we have the Hydra. Now, as you guys know, Hydra is the headed snake, as I would call it. Now, these guys appear in Hydra layers, and basically these guys can drop Hydra fangs, rotten flesh. They have a 10% chance to drop a Hydra heart and a 2.5% chance to drop a Hydra skull. Now, these guys will give you effects as well, and as you guys can tell, these guys are very hostile. This is a mini boss, I believe, and the best way to counter these guys is having a fire dragon steel sword or a flame dragon bone sword. So guys, all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, guys. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys want another video on the armor and the specific weapons you can get. And this guy, he kind of likes, you know, getting in front of me. I feel like there's a weird glitch going on right now. You can see the creeper like inside of me or something. That's very weird. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.